The SEC's attack on crypto continues as they are now suing crypto trust Paxos for the issuance of an unregistered security in BUSD. Now, if you don't know what BUSD is a stablecoin that is pretty much backed by Binance, in which most people use if they do use Binance. Now, many people are taking this quite crazily. Everyone's saying that this is the end of stablecoins, that they're going to ban all stablecoins, and I'm here to just talk about what all is going on. I'm going to give you my tinfoil hat conspiracy about what's really going on, and then we'll talk about what this means for the future. So let's just start off with the article here. And as you can see, SEC again will sue Crypto Trust Co. Paxos over Binance stablecoin, according to the Wall Street Journal. So it says here that the SEC is alleging that BUSD is an unregistered security. The news comes days after CoinDesk reported Paxos is under investigation by the New York Department of Financial Services through the scope of NYDFS. Now, of course, because of this, Paxos has now paused its issuance of BUSD until they can move forward with this investigation. Now, we did get some news from CZ at Binance earlier, in which he said that we were informed by Paxos that they have been directed to cease minting new BUSD by the New York Department of Financial Services. Paxos is regulated by NYDFS. BUSD is a stablecoin wholly and managed by Paxos. As a result, BUSD market cap will only decrease over time. Paxos will continue to service the product and manage redemptions. Paxos also assured us the funds are safe and fully covered by reserves in their banks, with their reserves audited many times by various audit firms already. On the alleged SEC versus Paxos lawsuit, I have no information about it other than public news articles. I am no expert on U.S. laws, but personally I agree with Miles' logic. Now, Miles said here that the SEC has labeled BUSD as an unregistered security and is suing the issuer Paxos. But he says, how on earth is a stablecoin considered a security when it clearly doesn't meet the Howey test criteria? This is the Howey test criteria. It has to be an investment of money in a common enterprise with the expectation of profit to be derived from the efforts of others. And so the argument here is, how in the world could a stablecoin be considered a security if there's an expectation of profit that deems it as a security, right? Who buys a stablecoin expecting to make a profit? Now, mind you, there are people who can say you put it in the lending protocols or these failed lending protocols that we've seen historically. But whenever you think about stablecoins at their core, you're not expecting them to rise in price so that you can sell it. Now, sure, there may be some arbitrage from exchange to exchange, but that's basically an exception, right? That is still not what a stablecoin is at its core. And so to me, this is kind of just a big ass smokescreen. This is one of those, we're going to do this just to do it, but there may not actually be any true content of this lawsuit as a whole, and it may just be a bit of a delayance of what is on the way, which again, we'll talk about in a second. So CZ went further to say if BUSD is ruled as a security by the courts, it will have profound impacts on how the crypto industry will develop or not develop in the jurisdictions where it is ruled as such. Binance will continue to support BUSD for the foreseeable future. We do foresee users migrating to other stablecoins over time, and we will make product adjustments accordingly, like moving away from using BUSD as the main pair for trading, etc. So overall, I'm not really all too concerned about this, and CZ doesn't seem to be either. What he's saying is that, yeah, it doesn't really seem as if it's a security, but if they register it as a security and sue Paxos, and of course BUSD isn't capable of being issued, then we're just going to make the necessary adjustments. One adjustment could be them issuing BUSD themselves. One thing you have to understand is that the SEC has no jurisdiction over Binance for the most part. The reason being is because Binance is not a US based entity, and the SEC has very limited control on anything outside the country. Now, there are little things in which they can do to stop Binance from being used in the US, but we're not going to get too deep into that. Now, what they're also saying is that there are also other stable coins in the industry in which can be used as a main trading pair on Binance. I know that's not necessarily what they want to happen, but they can make those adjustments. It is no problem. And so the way I look at this is it looks like the SEC is just trying to continue its attack for one of two reasons. Now, you guys know I'm a bit of a tinfoil hat guy whenever it comes to crypto. I do believe manipulation is the core of most of what happens, and the way I'm looking at this is one of two reasons why the SEC is doing this. So reason number one is that they are trying to continue this war against inflation. Now, let me explain. So what we see is that crypto is doing good, and when crypto does good, crypto investors feel good. When crypto investors feel good, they get more optimistic, they put more money into crypto, they make more money, and they feel even better. That's kind of how these little bull runs go. Now, as 2023 has started, we of course saw crypto absolutely taking off. Bitcoin up 50%, some alts up over 100% plus, and again, many people are feeling good. Now, when crypto investors are in this good mindset, they're feeling a little bit more happy, a little bit more willing to spend some money, a little bit more willing to go out and go eat and go drink and go party, do all of these things, which of course is kind of a little bit of contradiction towards what the government right now is trying to do to the economy. You see, the government is trying their best to slow the economy down. What they want to do is they want to keep raising interest rates to the point in which people just feel like they don't have as much money. They stop spending money. These shops and stores stop making as much money, and it kind of does a lot of harm to the economy as a whole. And if crypto is running and doing good, well, crypto investors obviously are going to be a little bit combatant towards what the government wants to happen. And so obviously, if they're capable of kind of shutting down this move from crypto right now, then they could be in a position to kind of put crypto back on track, for what they like to call it. So there is always that opportunity. Now, there is another opportunity in the sense that it still does deal with inflation, but they're more focused on the dollar right now. So what we know is that the dollar has lost a lot of value. Of course, as inflation goes up, the dollar loses its value as a whole. And we've seen the dollar kind of struggling against some of the other currencies of the world. And in my opinion, as we could possibly be entering into a recession, the government may want to kind of increase the strength of the dollar as much as possible. So targeting stablecoins and trying to ban stablecoins and having people remove their money from stablecoins, bringing it back to the dollar, could increase demand for the dollar, which does increase the strength of the dollar at its core. And so I think that there could be some implications that they are trying to just focus on the dollar itself by targeting stable coins and trying to bring strength back to the dollar, especially in comparison to some of the other currencies in the world. And so I guess that does make sense. I think that it's just a little bit ridiculous, but all of this doesn't necessarily seem to be coincidental to me. I think that the moment we start to get a crypto run, oh, now the SEC wants to do this. Oh, now they want to start to issue all these lawsuits. It's not a coincidence. We talked about this 3 or 4 weeks ago in a live stream. I said, guys, there's going to be bans, there's going to be regulations, there's going to be more exchanges having to shut down. It's all going to come because it's all a part of the timeline, right? This year is going to be the year of neutrality, in my opinion. Half green, half red. And of course, to keep triggering that red, there has to be manipulation. I saw this in 2019, honestly saw it attempted in 2020, and we're going to see it again coming up here. So I will continue to update you all as this does play out. I wouldn't be too concerned about it right now, but I definitely wouldn't be holding too much money on a stable coin like BUSD at this given point. Personally, I do just hold a lot of my stable coins diversified across all of them, BUSD, USDT, and USDC, and I just kind of wait it out. I think even if BUSD gets banned in the States, there are opportunities in other exchanges and swaps in which you can still swap it out as long as there is liquidity, and so it's not too concerning. But with the threat of a ban here, there could be some type of implications for a huge kind of depegging or something. You don't want to be a part of that, trust me. So the best thing you can do right now is to not have all of your stable coins in one stable coin. Spread out that capital and liquidity across multiple ones that you do trust, especially at this given point in time, or kind of concede to what they want you to do and just hold your money in cash for the foreseeable future. It's not a terrible idea. Okay, so with that said, again, I will continue to update you as this does play out. Make sure you do subscribe to make sure you see it, and click right here for yesterday's video.